Hands down, this castle in the south of Poland is one of the most splendid palaces in the whole country. Leading figures from all around the world came to see this mansion, but suddenly it all stopped when the site was abandoned more than 20 years ago. What happened to the former residents? From the distance, it still seems like a real-life fairy tale castle. But take a closer look and you see that the facade is crumbling and that this place is full of scars. Because the story of this historic mansion is a story of betrayal. Yes, it is also a story of enormous richness, glory and pomp. But most of all, it is a story of intrigue, oppression and misery. Discover the sad history of one of Poland's most beautiful, undisclosed landmarks. If you enjoy our videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell to get notified when we upload new content. If you have no urbex calendar for this year, then there's still a handful we can send to you guys. We picked our best photos from 2019 and printed them on high-quality photographic paper. We also added stories of every showcased exploration. We ship worldwide. If you're interested, check the video description for more info. On our multi-day road trip to Poland, we were exploring several stunning abandoned places. We were camping in overgrown castle grounds, infiltrating defunct power plants, and venturing into long-forgotten parts of the country. But none of these places are as overwhelming as the manor we want to feature in the third chapter of this series. We are in the south of the country, close to the Czech Republic. In a valley of 3 mountains, Bożkowie is located. It is a village with a population of around 1,500 people. Its history dates back to the 14th century. It was called Eckersdorf for most of the time, which is German. Not until 1945, the village was incorporated to Poland. Normally, we don't share the locations of the places we are exploring in order to protect them. But if it is a visit with permission, we make an exception. And on this day, we were lucky to get a tour of the castle by a real contemporary witness. Today's shape of the manor house is the result of a reconstruction after a huge fire around 1870. But originally, it was already built in the 16th century. In the course of time, different aristocratic families were living here. They all were expanding and rebuilding their home. As a result, different architectural styles are combined in this grand building complex. The current appearance reminds of a French castle. It can be described as a style of Neo-Renaissance and Neo-Baroque. During its final years before it was abandoned, the structure was used as a school. Today, one of the former teachers is housed in a side wing to take care of the property. Sometimes he allows curious visitors to come inside and experience the history of this magnificent place at first hand. During his tour through the spacious chambers of the mansion, this guy told us the history of the place. Too bad we didn't understand a word because we don't speak any Polish. So we had to use Google afterward to learn about the story. This might be the center of the palace. It's a prestigious ballroom, which nearly stretches 2 floors. This is one of the oldest places in the whole building complex. It even survived the devastating fire, which destroyed large parts of the castle around 1870. Pomp and a variety of elaborate details were supposed to impress all the high-ranking visitors. But after years of neglect, the castle is falling apart today. It's not much known about this site from the time before the big fire and the major reconstructions, but it is recorded that several prominent personalities from the past were invited here. Next to famous Friedrich Wilhelm III, King of Prussia, and his son and heir to the throne, Friedrich Wilhelm IV, there was also John Quincy Adams from the US coming to see this castle. Adams later became the 6th President of the United States of America. Today's leftovers are just a pitiful remnant of what the pompous manor must have been in the past, with its ornate corridors and the monumental staircases. The fall of the castle started 75 years ago. There are 2 reasons why this gem is in such disrepair today. At first, it was communism, and later capitalism. On our Poland adventure, we were accompanied by 2 of our photographer friends. If you are interested in captivating images of forgotten sites all over Europe, you need to check out Toby Urbex and the anonymous Snapshooter. You find their Instagrams in the video description. In 1945, World War II was over, and the aristocratic family who owned the castle was expelled from their homeland by the Soviets. The site was now property of the newly created Polish People's Republic, which was a satellite state of the Soviet Union. From now on, the mansion was vacant and started to decay for the first time. After a provisional renovation in 1956, it was decided to use parts of the building complex as a school for officials and agricultural college. New life was breathed into the derelict structure, and it started to thrive again. In the 1970s, the palace was completely refurbished, and since 1981, it is protected as a historic monument. The castle was as enchanting as it was during the times of its most grandeur. And it went on for many years, but then at the end of the 20th century, the school was closed and the huge mansion was lying idle again. This was the start of a downward spiral beyond all comparison. In the following years, the palace was burglarized and most of the furnishings were stolen. The Cold War was over and foreign investors were welcomed to Poland. Now the castle was handed over to a company from Sweden that promised to restore its former glory. However, since nothing happened for years, the site was sold to another investor in 2005. This time it seemed to be different. The new Irish owner announced a marvelous transformation from a forgotten palace to a luxury hotel and convention center with its own golf course in the spacious park. But guess what? This was just another bitter disappointment. None of these visions were realized. The building stock, which was still in a good condition until then, was now going to wreck. The roof was damaged and water was soaking in. The Irish investor was bold enough to put up the residence for sale for tenfold the price he was paying earlier. Thieves were breaking in again and stole the valuable paintings and sculptures. This is why you will not find any of them today. Fungus started to spread, the stuccoed ceiling was falling apart, plaster was crumbling, and due to moisture, the parquet floor was rotting away. The putrid smell was now everywhere. Chambers which were once splendid were now heaps of rubble. The monument was turned into a ruin. But there was new hope only 10 years ago when a Polish company bought the castle. Also this time a substantial renovation was promised. And also this time nothing happened. We stopped counting how many rescue attempts there were. As you can see, this is a sad and never-ending story.
Gerade auf dem Weg nach oben zu dem großen Turm, zur Spitze des großen Turms. Und ich glaube, ich habe es geschafft. Da muss ich hoch. Ich glaube, ich lasse mein Gimbal hier. Guckt euch mal an, wie das aussieht, wie es da hochgeht. Was für ein Scheißwurst. So, ich habe es in die Spitze vom Turm geschafft. Ich hoffe, man kann sie auf der Kamera erkennen, das wollte ich nur noch mal zeigen. Der Weg hier hoch ist auf jeden Fall nichts für Leute mit Höhenangst, würde ich sagen. Guckt euch das mal an. Also, zuerst geht diese Leiter hier hoch. Mit, weiß nicht, 30 Sprossen oder so. Und dann hängt die da so ein paar Zentimeter an diesem Balken. Also die ist total frei beweglich. Und von diesem Balken aus geht es dann weiter mit solchen in den Balken eingelassenen Sprossen hier, die auch gerne mal abbrechen scheinbar. Und ich habe keine Ahnung, wie lang dieser Balken hier schon steht. Ein paar Mal ist es scheinbar schon passiert, dass die Dinger abgebrochen sind. Also echt nicht ohne hier. Und wenn man hier fällt, dann fällt man eine Etage, 2 Etagen und noch in die dritte darunter. Wünscht man echt keinem. Aber für die Aussicht hat es sich auf jeden Fall gelohnt.
In the end, there is not much to say. We tried to unveil all the secrets of the manor and shared its story with you. This journey into the past was an emotional up and down. But word is that there's a new owner now, and he wants to bring back the glory for real this time. But let's see if he can really make up for the damage investors before him were causing. Until then, the old teacher is watching the manor as a lonely inhabitant of the big house. This castle has an outstanding artistic and historical value concerning both architecture and interior decor. It is the cultural heritage of the region, but yet it is neglected and falling into disrepair. As mentioned in the beginning, it's a story of betrayal and misery. But this did not happen during the times of the aristocratic residence or when this was all occupied by Nazi Germany. This did not even happen during the socialist time that was following. No, most of the bad things were happening in those last 20 to 30 years. In the centuries before, the castle was flourishing. So, what does this say about our age? Next time on Broken Window Theory. Silesia in the south of Poland is also called the country of castles. Next to the one we were showing you in this episode, we were also exploring 2 other crumbling palaces. And again, both of them have quite a story to tell. While this fairy tale castle is only a ruin today, the second and more hidden one was surprising us with an untouched chapel from the time when it was fully intact. Join us on another journey back in time in the 4th chapter of Poland's undisclosed landmarks. We are already halfway through our 2019 Poland adventure. Please don't miss out on our urbex calendar for this year. We want to share the remaining pieces with you. Check the video description for more info. Soon we also have exciting news to share. We will keep you posted on social media and YouTube. Until then, keep exploring.